What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about something a little different. So all my videos are generally filmed in my top garage, but I do have a basement garage that I rarely show people. Now, if you watch one of my old videos, it was kind of how do I have too many projects, and I'll post a link to it up above. But I want to talk about my old 52 Chevy pickup and then another project that we have down here in the basement garage. So the basement garage is a tandem garage. So you park back to back, and I thought I'd show you guys kind of what we're dealing with down here. Now, it is not nearly as nice as the top garage, but I have a 55 Chevy two-door post car that I started doing metal work on about a year ago, and that's kind of where it's set. I'll show you a picture kind of before and after right here. Now, when I said I was doing the metal work, I didn't mean like me. I meant like I was having it done, because I don't know anything about body work, nor do I want to. It's not a project or anything that I want to pick up or learn. So, but today I really want to talk about my 52 Chevy pickup. So I'm going to pull it outside, and we're going to talk about some of the things that I've done to it, some of the things that I like to do to it. So let's get this thing pulled out. Now, when I first bought this truck, it was stock frame. The front suspension had already been subframed off like a 78 Malibu. The back was still on leaf springs. And while I like the look of that truck, and I'll show you a picture here, but I didn't really care for the visor, which now I kind of wish that I would have kept it, but I ended up selling the visor, and I took the wheels off and sold the wheels, and I went to a 17-inch wheel. I'll show you a picture with it on 17s here. But all in all, I wanted it lower. So the only way to get it lower was to go to like a single leaf spring, which I didn't really want to do. I knew it would ride terrible. So I actually sent it to a guy about an hour and a half of here, and he did basically everything that you can see here. So it has a Art Morrison brace here in the center with the drive shaft loop. He plated the frame all the way back from under the cab back. He put a monster C-notch in it, obviously to give it more room for suspension travel. Also did a parallel 4-bar with a panhard rod, and then Viking dual adjustable coilovers. Now, I also added dual adjustable coilovers in the front, but the other thing we did was, when I got this truck, it already had the gas tank moved to the back, but it was only like an 8 or 9 gallon tank, so it really wasn't beneficial for driving around. I wanted a bigger tank, so I found a place that makes aluminum tanks that fit these trucks, and this is a 15-gallon tank, so a lot more. And then I took it to my body shop, and my body shop guy, obviously because there is a wooden floor in this truck and it normally sets on this rail that you see here, it wouldn't fit because of the suspension. So we raised the bed floor up 6 inches. He also made these wheel tubs and radiused the side of the bed in order for clearance, obviously, for the wheels. Now, if you're wondering why there's no bed floor in it, that's because down the road I was going to do a motor swap, and I was going to have access to the fuel tank and obviously to run fuel lines, but that's why there's no bed floor in it. The bed floor, it takes about 4,000 bolts to get it in and out, so it's not something I wanted to redo, and I thought that I was going to put a motor in it sooner than what I am. So I do have a motor. I have a 6-liter LS, and I have a 4L80 transmission. I've got the harness, everything I need. I just really need time. So obviously I have a lot of projects if you watch this channel, but this one's kind of been put on the back burner. I don't drive it a ton, but when I do, I absolutely love it. But ultimately, when I done the suspension and got this thing slammed to the ground, I wanted a bigger wheel. So I went with the 20-inch wheel. The front wheels are 20 by 8s. The back wheels are 20 by 10. And I just think this wheel makes the truck. You know, I know that a lot of people think the torque thrust wheel's played out, but to me, it's one of the best looking wheels. It's kind of a timeless wheel. So onto the brakes. When I initially wanted to do this truck, I bought some 6-piston brakes off of Z06 because I wanted those in the front. Well, because of the clearance, I would have had to have a custom wheel made, and I just didn't want to do that. So I backed off and went to a stock C6 brake. So that's what we have here in the front. And of course, I wanted the Corvette logo on it, so bought those and the adapters. It is actually, the front end is dropped, like I said, on the coilovers, but it's also got a 2-inch drop spindle off of a S10, so an S10 Blazer with a sealed hub bearing. So bought the C6 brakes, and then on the back, the C6 stock brake is a just a single piston, so it didn't have the logo, but it was red, and I wanted that logo on that back wheel. I know that may be crazy, but to me it just looks better, looks nicer. So I had the bracket itself machined down, and so I was able to put that same brake in the back. So just for an awesome look, well, at least in my opinion. Tell me what you think down below, but to me, I think it looks really good. Now, moving on to under the hood, I generally don't show people this because it's embarrassing, it's dirty, it's gross, but it is a 305, so it is a V8 swap truck. 305 with a turbo 350 transmission. You know, the motor runs great. It does leak a little bit of oil, like just, I imagine all old 350, 305 Chevys do, but it's not terrible. Gets it down the road, and it's not fast by any means, but this is something that when I do the motor swap, I'm going to clean all of this up and kind of redo a lot of things, maybe even paint down below here. But it also has factory cruise control. So my uncle had this truck a while back, and he wanted cruise control, so he added this factory diaphragm, so it does have cruise. So now we're going to move on to the inside of the truck, since this is so ugly and you probably don't want to see this anymore. Now, when I first bought this truck, it had a red seat, so the seat was red, and I'll show you a picture here. Now, I really like the red interior, or the red seat cover, but that seat was just not very comfortable, so found a seat out of a 97 Silverado, and had it recovered by the same guy who did my console and the couple videos back on my Sierra pickup, and had it covered in black. It also has red stitching, so I went back and forth on getting a red one, but ultimately I thought black would look a little nicer. The rest of the interior is pretty much stock. I did have some new door handles made that are aluminum instead of the factory plastic, which broke all the time. The radio, I did add an aftermarket radio. I wanted something that was Bluetooth, but you know, looked the truck, and so that's what I found. This is retro sound, and absolutely love the radio. It works really well, and it just gives that factory look. The other things in the interior, though, it does have a Grant steering wheel with the tilt column, which obviously tilt columns were not a thing back in the day, but it does have tilt. The cruise is hooked up on the factory location, and a set of Dolphin gauges, which probably will get switched out when I do the motor swap. I'm not really sure what gauge I'm going to go with yet, but. And then a lot of people ask about this. This is actually a prism that works with the visor. So when you're at a stoplight and the visor is on the truck, you can't see the stoplight. So you can see it in a reflection on this. So I get a lot of people that ask that, and it doesn't need it now, obviously, because the visor is gone, but I've always left it in here, just thinking maybe one of these days I might add another visor, or just because it fits the truck. You know, this is a piece that they added back in the day to do just that. Well, guys, that's pretty much it. I wanted to show you a couple other projects that I'm working on, and I'm telling you, it sucks to have so many projects. I should probably sell most of them, but this is a truck that I will keep. You will see on the channel forever. I am not selling this truck unless, well, I say never, but if somebody offered me something stupid, I might take it, or at least think about it. Anyway, if you like this video, please smash that thumbs up button. You're gonna see future content on this truck. Like I said, I don't talk about it a lot, but when I do drive it, it gets more compliments than anything I own. It's just one of those trucks that every time you're at a gas station, somebody's talking about their grandpa had one, or they've got one they're fixing up. It's a conversation piece everywhere you go. And I feel like it's gonna be around for a long, long time. But if you like it, like I said, please smash that thumbs up button. Go down there and hit the subscribe if you've not already subscribed, so you can see future content on this and all the other stuff that we're working on. And while you're down there, subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you're notified every time we drop a new video. And well, stay tuned to see what we do next.